At using our templates. Some people still have a little problem with that, so I'd like just to make a video on just using our template. So here I have our metric template that I drew. Okay, and once I draw it, I'm going to go up to the big A and I'm going to hover on Save As. I'm not going to click on it, I'm going to hover it, and you'll see Drawing Template, and I'm going to click on that. Now, that will save it in the template folder. If you are using the only one using this computer, you can put it there. So I can call this CAD 1 millimeters and save it. Okay, it'll ask me to put an option. That's fine. Okay, and I'll pick OK. Alright, now I'm going to close it up and I can start from here. Now, if I save it under templates, okay, at my start menu here, I can hit this down arrow and you'll see CAD 1 millimeter. Okay, and that will open up our millimeter drawing. Okay, what else I can do is I can save it, for example, to a flash drive. So I have a flash drive in there, and again I'm going to go up to the big A and I'm going to pick or highlight Save As, Drawing Template. Okay, now I'm not going to put it under the template directory. So this is what I would do if you were using the computers at school. Here is my flash drive. Okay, and I'll call this CAD 1 millimeter. Notice the extension is going to be a DWT, not a DWG. So I'm going to pick Save. Okay, again, ask me for a description, that's fine. Okay, now if I close this, okay, and I'm back to here. Now what I would have to do is I can go here to Open Files. Okay, make sure that it says Drawing Template for the type of file. Then I would find my flash drive. In my case, it's called Toshiba. And here is my millimeter drawing. Okay, so now I'm ready to start drawing. Okay, what else I can do is I can use a startup command. Now the startup command changes the way AutoCAD will start up, and there are 4 options. So I type startup and I hit enter. Okay, right now I'm at the default and that's number 3. Okay, if I put this at number 0, okay, it changes the system variable startup. Now if I close this, okay, it puts me here again and I need to go all the way out of AutoCAD. Then I need to go in here and open it up again. So I'm going to open up AutoCAD, and when I put it at 0, what's going to happen is eventually, someday, okay, it goes straight into the program without any template file at all. Okay, now I'm going to change that again, startup, and I'm going to change this to number 1 and hit enter. Again, I change the system variable to number 1. Now this is the one I like the best. I'm just going to close AutoCAD now, and I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to open it up. Okay, and go to AutoCAD. Okay, now this brings up this menu, and I like this menu a little bit better. Okay, it allows me to open a file, okay, or start from scratch, or pick a template. So if we're going to use my template, okay, I will go to pick a template. Now we'll go to browse, okay, and I will go to my flash drive, and then I would find it. Oops, then double click on it and pick open. And now I've started. We are in Paperspace. If you look down here, you'll see I am in Paperspace. Okay, that is just a piece of paper. Okay, and it has our border on it and our title block. we never draw in here. We put our dimensions here later, but we don't draw in paper space. We go to model space. Now you'll notice under model space that you don't see the border anymore and the title block. Those are all in paper space. So I can go back and forth from here to model, okay, over here on the left, okay, and paper is layout. Or I can go right here where it says paper and double click on it. Well, I can't double click on it now, so forget I said that. Okay, so I'm going to go to model. I'll show you that in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm going to draw my drawing, whatever it is. Okay, and whatever size it is, I don't really care. Okay, and let's say this is it right here. Okay, I don't know what size it is. I don't care. Alright, once my drawing is completely finished, I then go to layout. Okay, you can't see behind this piece of paper. Behind this piece of paper is the model space. So what we have to do is we have to cut a hole in it. Okay, so we go up to layout here. Now we go here to rectangle. That is not the same as going to rectangle over here. We're not drawing a rectangle. We're going to layout, and we're going to layout viewports, and we're making a rectangular viewport. Now what the viewport is cutting a hole in this paper. Okay, so I'm going to go to rectangular. Okay, I'm going to click this one and that one. Okay, you'll see paper space now, or model space now, come to the front. Okay, this is where now if I double click on model paper, now it says model. Now I'm actually working in the model space, not paper space. Notice I can't pick the title block because now I'm in model space. If I click on model, now I'm in paper space. Now I can't click on the drawing. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go to model space. Okay, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to turn my grid off because I don't want that grid on. Now one way to tell whether you're in model or paper space, besides the word model and paper, is you'll see the X and Y coordinates down here. You'll see the box up here, and you'll see up here where it says top 2D wireframe. Okay, now also down here you will see the scale. Okay, now a scale is, we never change the scale of the drawing. We actually move the paper in and out, okay, so that we scale it. So if I put my cursor somewhere in the middle and just turn the wheel, okay, notice I'm making it smaller. Now my scale is 0.023. I go here. Now my scale is 0.094. Okay, so I can make it till it fits. Now you'll see there's a little down arrow here. If I pick the down arrow, that will give me normal scales, 1:1, 1/2, 1/4. So if I go to 1/2, notice it's still way too big. Okay, so I need to go to a smaller scale. If I go to 1/5, still too small. If I go to 1/8, still too small. If I go to 1/10, still too small. If I go to 1/16, okay, 1/16 will fit there. Okay, now all I do is, now I don't want to move the wheel on my mouse, but I want to pan around a little bit so it looks like this. Okay, so now again my scale is 1:16. Okay, I'm still in model space. Now I'm going to click here and I'm going to go into paper space. Now if I zoom in and out, now I'm zooming in and out in the paper space, not in the model space. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm in paper space. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that rectangle that we created using the viewport, rectangular. Remember, that's not a rectangle, it's a rectangular viewport. Okay, and it will look like this. Then I'll right click anywhere and you'll see it says display locked, and I'll say yes. Okay, that way if I go back into model space, for example, okay, say I go in by mistake and I zoom, it doesn't change my scale. My scale stays 1/16 down here. If I go to model space, okay, now model space, I can do whatever I want to. Okay, say like I forgot to put a hole in here. Say there's a hole right here. Okay, and I'll put a hole right there. Now if I go back into paper space or layout, okay, now you'll see that hole's there. Okay, go back to paper space. Okay, now I can go in here and I can change my title. Just double click on here, put the title. Always make sure you put your caps lock off, on. Okay, and the date, the drawing size, and the scale. And we said the scale is right down here. Now you can't see it because I'm in paper. If I double click here again on model, you'll see that it's 1/16, 1/16. So then you go back into paper, click on the scale, okay, and this scale is 1:16. Okay, so that is it. So we draw our drawings always in model space. Okay, our border is in paper space. Now if I go here and click on that rectangle that we did and delete it, okay, it's gone. Okay, what we need to do is create another rectangular, okay, rectangular viewport. Don't go here and go to home and make a rectangle. Okay, that does nothing except make a rectangle. We don't want that. We want to go here to layout, to rectangular. Now if I wanted to, I could just put it right here, put it there, double click, so I'm in model space, take off my ports, and then put this scale again. Probably I'm thinking 1/16 would fit again. Now the problem with doing it that way, when I go into paper space, I'm going to get this border here. Okay, so that's why I don't do that. So I'm going to hit delete again, go to layout, rectangular. I'm going to make the rectangle the size of our border so that there's a line there, but we won't be able to see it. Okay, again, double click, make sure I'm in model space, take off my viewport, my grid lines, go here, 1/16. I may need to go here and zoom a little bit. Okay, then I go here into paper space, right click, display locked, yes. Alright, and then you save it, and that will be a DWG drawing. Okay, that's how we use our templates. I'm going to do the same thing for if it was an inch template.